Hello and welcome back to my craft room. Oh, voice is going. I've got a little parcel to open with you today. This is one of these parcels that's come over all the way from mainland China, but it's incredible how quickly they get here. So this is a company called Fgnormal, fgnormal.com. I will leave links to them below in the products I'm going to show you today. And they contacted me to say would I like to choose some of their products to review. They give me a budget and I can pick whatever I like. And I'm pretty impressed. Once I let them know what I like, they get it to me within like 10 days at the most. It's quite impressive. They always come in these grey bags. All of the stuff I've had from these companies based in mainland China all seem to come in these standard grey bags. One or two things have been in like a small box inside. So this time I've chosen, I can't remember exactly what it was, but I know I chose some things that I thought would be good for making valentines with, and I said to them, if it gets here in time, I'll try and do a video in time for Valentine's Day. So it's actually the 12th today as I'm recording this, and it came a couple of days ago. So yeah, I'm gonna try and get this out in time for Valentine's Day. So should we go to the desk and have a look? I'll open the package and then we'll have a quick look at the website and see how much everything was, because I can't remember now, and they never put on here how much it is. So I'm just going to get the noisy bit out of the way. I've had some lovely things from these companies actually. So here we go. Now it doesn't look very much, but if you're into paper crafting you'll know exactly what this is straight away. So these are little sets of thin metal dies. Oh, I forgot about this one. Oh, lovely. You do need a die cutting machine to use these. I've got a little hand crank Cuttlebug. And you can get the little mini machines now that are big enough to take this kind of size die. You can get the little mini ones for about 30 quid these days. My little Cuttlebug I've had for about 15 years ish. And I think it cost me $34.99 at the time, but my goodness me, it's been a little soldier. I've used it so much. And one of the great things is about these, that as well as cutting paper and cards, which is what they're kind of intended for, you can cut thin fabric and felt with them as well, and also foam, so you can make little stamps with them. You can do you can do all sorts of things with them actually. So I love these nesting dies which come in, so you get the same shape in ever decreasing sizes. And I think what I liked, the look of the reason I particularly liked the look of this one is it's got the little stitch detail around the edge. So I will cut them in a minute so we can see what they look like. So that's the heart. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think that's going to look really pretty. That won't cut a frame like that. It will cut this outer edge and it will emboss the stitch, but it will leave a solid heart in the middle, I believe. Same with these stamp shaped ones. I just thought this would be really fun for doing little cards to go with my stitchery and art swaps because of the stamp and all that. So I'm quite excited about the idea of that. And I got the hexagons. Oh, I went nuts, didn't I? So these are just hexagons with a stitch detail around the edge. I'll cut some of them in a minute just so you can see how they turn out. This one's probably the most fun. This little owl one with all the different pieces to put together and create a little owl. And he's got a heart there as well to cut out of his tummy or whatever, or just to cut separate ones. So I just think it'll make quite a cute little quick valentine. And then also talking about valentine themes, this embossing folder. Embossing folders, I've had embossing folders for years and they used to be all the thing, and then they kind of went out of favour, you know, a bit like things do in the paper crafting world. They go in and out of favour and come back again, and some things I've never stopped using. And you can do a lot of really fun techniques with embossing folders. So one thing I love to do is a faux letter press, where you apply ink to one side or the other of your folder, put the paper in, run it through your Cuttlebug or whatever you're using, and it imprints the shape and kind of stamps the ink into it at the same time. So it's a really fun technique. Also, these are nice for doing, because you can use either side. So one side is embossed and one side is debossed. I don't know if it's going to really show that on my camera. It'll be easier to show you when I run it through the Cuttlebug in a minute. But yeah, so one side, this side, the hearts are standing proud, and this side they're kind of debossed. They're sunken into the surface. So you can actually use these for doing interesting rubbings and things as well. And I've done a lot of just recently doing crayon rubbings as a base for slow stitching into, which is a really fun way to use stencils and embossing folders if you've got them. And they're cheap as chips, these things. So first thing I'm going to do now is just take you to the website so we can have a quick look at how much all these things were. So here's the owl set, and it was only $1.99. You can see that up there it's got all the different currencies you can go to. States, Canada, Europe, Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, Mexican, Thailand, Korea, Ukraine, Belarus. They're all ones they've got, I could see there anyway. Free shipping on orders over £40. I can't tell you what the shipping is because they don't tell me all that stuff. But I did once sort of do an experiment and put in about £5 worth of goodies, and just to see what the postage would be, and it was about £5 worth of postage. But I'm guessing if I'd have put in 20 quid's worth of goodies, it might still have only been £5 postage. You would have to like do an experiment and have a look. Here's the embossing folder I was just showing you. That's also $1.99. So this is the hexagon set. So we've got, how many was it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hexagons nested inside one another for $2.99. That's pretty good. I'm going to try them on fabric in a minute, and I don't know how. I think the kind of embossed stitching thing there just won't take on the fabric, just won't do anything. So I'm hoping that these might work to cut out little felt hexagons and things. We'll see in a minute. I have definitely used the thin dies lots of times before for cutting felt with. There's the stamp shape set, so that's 5 again there. 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, $2.99. And there's it says circle frame there, but it's the heart shaped ones. 5 again, $1.99. Cheap as chips. Even if you did have to pay £5 postage on those, I think I'd be very happy with them. Got my little Cuttlebug set up here now. I really need to get some new cutting plates. I have trashed those. So to emboss this little, just sort of medium weight watercolour paper I've got there, I'm just popping it in there. I'm putting it at a slight angle because my machine just finds it a little bit easier if I do that. So I'm just going to run that through really quickly just to show you how it comes out. Let's wind that through. Whee! There's a lot of big scary noises, but don't worry, it's meant to sound like that. And that has just embossed that. You can see how brilliant that looks. Now I'm just going to cut one of the die cuts, and then I'll just cut the others to show you. I won't go through them all now because you don't need to you don't need to sit through me cutting all of these out, but I could put several on at a time if I want. Let's pick another one. I like the idea of just being able to make my own little stamps to go on the to go on my swap envelopes. That'd be quite cute. See, that's cut through beautifully. It's cut through that paper like butter, and you can see it leaves that little stitch detail, which I think is so cute. I really do. And actually, if you were careful, you could actually stitch through that with thread. That would be really pretty. In fact, now I've said it, I might have to do it. Love the little stamp. I reckon you could cut that out of pattern paper and just make your own little cute stamps. That'd be really fun. Perhaps with one of the hearts, one of the tiny hearts cut out. And all of the thin dies behave pretty much the same way. So whatever your standard sandwich is for your die cutting machine is going to work with these. They're no different from any others. just going to try the, or I want to do the owl. We'll try the owl, and then I want to try cutting these hexagons out the felt just to see. Put them all through at the same time. So let's say I just wanted a little orange hexagon to go on one of my stitchery squares, one of my swap squares. You hear all those creakings and funny noises with these machines. Don't worry about it, it's meant to sound that way. Okay, fingers crossed. Oh yes, look, it's cut through it beautifully, and it has actually made the stitch marks as well, which I didn't think it would. Now, have they gone, whoops, have they actually gone through, or is it just a, yeah, they've actually gone through. So it would be a very easy matter to just follow along with your needle and stitch around there as well. So that is it's a real bonus that you can cut felt with it. You can also use it to cut. You can also use it to cut fun foam like this. So you can use it to make stamps. So if you Pritt stick, if you cut the, I'll cut one and show you. So if I then Pritt stitch that onto a stamping block just to hold it while I'm stamping, ink it up, press it down. I could put 2 layers of it if I thought I needed it. But yeah, it makes a lovely little quick and easy stamp. So if you've got any other dies as well, like any small shapes that you've got in these thin dies, you can cut this kind of thing with them and make your own little stamps. They won't cut things like really like thick chipboard stuff like that. You need the steel dies for that, the steel rule dies for that. But they will do anything like felt, thin fabric as well. They'll do thin fabric. Gives you some extra use out of them. So what I'm going to do now is find my mouse so I can I'm pretty impressed with those. What I'm going to do now is cut some pieces out ready to make my little valentine, and I'll come back and show you how I'm putting that together, because you don't need to sit and watch me cutting out loads of stuff. Alright then, see you in a minute. Right, I have cut a few pieces here. What I'm going to be doing is making this my version of this Victorian puzzle purse, which apparently they used to do quite often as a Valentine thing, and this is how I've done a practice one. This is how it goes together. It's all folded out of one square of paper, which you can then decorate however you like. Did that wrong. So you can decorate this part, you can do the back, and then you put something else on this part. Quite often, you know, people do watercolour paintings, so that then as you take it apart, whatever you've painted kind of breaks up, and when you put the puzzle back together, it solves the puzzle, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do, but I'm going to make it easy on myself and use some pattern paper that I've had hoarded away for years. So this 12-inch square of scrapbooking paper, which I love the colour of. It's a slightly greener blue than it looks there. It's a really pretty blue. And then I've got this, which came with this going back to my scrapbooking days. I think I've still got the front of it. Yeah, there it is. So this was like a free thing that you got on the back of the scrapbooking magazine, and I loved it because I like all the little woodland creatures and stuff. It's really nice designs. I have cut those up into squares to kind of fit the different layers of this little puzzle, and then cut them into triangles from there. So I've got all of these ready. I cut this piece into a square, this embossed piece. So I've given myself probably more pieces than I need all cut up, but you know, I can choose as I go along which ones I want to use. And I cut this little tiny bit out of one of the pattern papers showing the owl to make my little faux stamp, which I'll put on the back. And I've got my owl here, and I'm going to colour the owl just using these water-based felt pens that I've got. Just use one of the bits of packaging in a minute. I'm just going to colour the pieces first. So the outer rim of the eye, I think I will just leave plain. Okay, looked at some pictures, changed my mind. I think I'll make the outer one black, then I'll make this one the yellow, and then I'll go black again, that middle one. And then this, I think I will do in the kind of greeny blue colour, and then pink for the hearts. I'm trying to keep it really, really simple. So like I say, you could just die cut this from pattern papers or already coloured papers or whatever. But and certainly if you were making a lot of them, it might make sense to do that. But I'm just doing the one, and I thought the easiest thing is just to cut it all out of one piece of paper and then colour it. So that's what I'm doing. Maybe I'll leave the feet and do them in the golden kind of yellow colour as well. And I could use my watercolour paints as well for this, or the middle bit's not really going to show because the little tummy thing is going to go over the top of that. So right, I'm going to leap on ahead and colour all of these and come back to you when they're done. Got all of my bits and pieces cut and coloured and ready to go. Couldn't decide whether to make the outside of the eye white or black, so I did one white and one black. I quite like how quirky that looks. The next thing is to make the base of my puzzle card, which is pretty easy, easier than you would think. So first thing is to take square paper. It can be any size square paper. It's easier if you pick a size that will easily divide into 3 down one of the straight edges though. This is typical scrapbooking paper, which is 30 centimetres. But you could do it with a piece of A4 paper. Just trim it down into a square. I think you can make it 21 centimetres, an A4 piece of paper, so that'll be easy to divide into 3. So I've folded it diagonally. This is quite thick, this paper. Thinner paper is easier to work with, but I really like this. It's a lovely colour. Now I've turned it 90 degrees and I'm going to fold it diagonally again. Something to sort of reinforce the fold with, but if you haven't got one of these bone folded things, you can, you know, just a ruler or edgy a pair of, you know, blunt sided scissors or something. Okay, that's that. Now I want to measure a third along here, so it's going to be 10 centimetres. I'm just going to use something to make a little mark with. Let's use this. I'm going to fold where that mark is. And I'm going to fold this edge up to meet it. So I'm dividing the whole piece into thirds. Except I'm not. What have I done? Oh, I folded that first one wrong. I haven't got another piece this colour either. Oh. I just measured it wrong. That's going to have some extra creases in now, which is a bit annoying. Some of it will be covered with my decoration anyway, so I'm just going to have to hope it's alright. So I've divided that into thirds. And now I'm going to divide this into thirds, but I'm going to measure it again this time. And there we are, I would have made the same mistake again. So this time I've marked it at 10 centimetres, not 9. Okay. This paper doesn't like folding in this direction, so I really need to reinforce it. It's so annoying I did that wrong. luckily my Valentine doesn't have perfect eyesight, so hopefully he won't notice. So there we go, ignoring the extra tram lines there. We've now got this divided into 9 squares, and we've got it divided diagonally that way as well. Now I'm going to turn it over, and I'm going to picture this as the square. I'm going to ignore that, but I'm just going to picture this as the square. I'm looking at this point now, and I want this point to meet that point, so I've got to make sure I don't go from the tram lines, and I'm going to fold this point up to meet there. And I'm going to again look at this square here and fold the point up to meet that intersection. Got to do this 4 times on all 4 sides. Last one. I'm going to turn it again, and I'm going to coax this into shape. This is a little bit fiddly, but once you've got it, just really hoping those extra lines aren't going to be too obvious now. Now you've got this kind of windmill going on. And now I'm going to fold each of these flaps over. One over the other. And then the last one gets tucked in to the flap there. So each one is going under the one next door. Now, I've got the annoying tram line there, but I'm going to be sticking papers over that, so I've cut these papers to fit. And I thought I might use this one on the back, but I'm thinking now, because I want the stamp to show up nicely. Whoops, just lost an eye. No, it was a heart. I think I'm going to use one of these. So now I'm going to stick all the bits of paper that I've got, I'm going to stick onto the corresponding pieces on here. And then this will have a heart at the centre of it. I suppose I don't need to decorate them all, I could just do that. And as I say, lots of people do nice little watercolour designs on here, and then when you open it up it kind of breaks the picture that you've painted apart, and then it comes back together again when you solve the puzzle. See, I haven't folded this one half as well as I folded that practice one, look. I'll see how it looks when I stuck the papers on. I might have to start again. I finished sticking this all together. I think I might refold this and have another go, I'm not sure. Because I've also put the patterns on higgledy-piggledy. But anyway, it's enough to show you the idea of these clever little puzzle valentines. I think they call them puzzle valentines. But it'd be a nice little thing to send, not just for Valentine's Day. It'd be a nice little way to send a message for a friend or whatever. You could put a gift card in there, couldn't you? I think it's a really sweet idea. I've done it like this on the back with the little focus has completely gone at the moment, with a little faux stamp, and I can write my Valentine's name on there. Let me show what it looks like opened up. See how long it takes him to work it out. So there's still space here where I could put more decoration, or I could write messages on here. And there's how my little owl turned out. I think he's well cute. I think he works nicely with all those pattern papers as well. Yeah, really nice. And actually I could cut him out of the felt too, and use it on slow stitching pieces, couldn't I? That'd be quite fun. Really happy with those dies, and I can see I will get an awful lot of use out of them. I think for such a reasonable price, I think they're a really useful little item. There we go. It's my thumbnail. It's a nice little idea, that, just for sending to anybody anytime really, and as I say, quite sweet idea to put a little gift card in there or whatever. I'm going to take my sketchbook downstairs now and watch a bit more Doctor Who. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll see you again really soon.